Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's Fan Fiction Power Hour. I'm your host, Ross Pitt, Shark Hunter. And with me, as always, here today is Wizzy Puffs. Say hello, Wizzy.
Oh, thank you. You guys, hold your applause, please. Roses? Seriously? You guys are too
Wizzy,
kind.
those aren't applause. Those are dead fish being slapped together.
That is the most creative applause I've ever seen.
No, it's how you tenderize them, actually.
I love these roses that smell just like rotten tomatoes.
It's a cookout.
Thank you guys so much.
Oh, boy. Well, hey guys, welcome back. Love to see your faces. Wizzy, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have been watching Star Kid musicals. Specifically,
Ooh.
The freaking guy who didn't like musicals. Which is weird how musical with that name could be so good musically.
Yeah. It seems like it's just not like... The name is misleading, you know?
It is.
That's magical. What you think of it?
And what did I think of it? I thought it was very good.
Nice.
I also listened to Nerdy Prudes Must Die before that, and musically, I think that one was better. But in like Act 2 of The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, super like blammo out of nowhere, really good.
Indeed. That's awesome. Sorry, I was looking at something.
And how has your weekend been?
I have been reading another really long, ungodly long web serial.
Oh yeah.
Last Celestia Code episode, we're doing the Celestia Code, by the way. I was reading Worm.
Oh dang.
And that one is infamously long. That was when I was enjoying that series, actually. That was the last episode where I was enjoying that series.
No.
Yeah.
No wonder you never
Worm's great, by the way,
listening.
guys. You all should read it. But I've been reading... Well, I've been listening to the audiobook for The Wandering Inn, which is also ungodly long, to the point where I believe I looked up a statistic, and it is longer than all of Stephen King's books combined. And I don't know if that's possible, but
Stephen King is
it
still
could just
writing.
I know. It could just be the Stephen King universe. I don't know. He might make some other stories that are set in not the universe of the Stephen King universe, with like The Shining and Dark Tower and shit.
That makes sense.
But that's still like longer than Wheel of Time, which is also infamously long.
With a name like that, you'd expect it.
Yeah, but The Wandering Inn blows the Wheel of Time itself out of the fucking water. That series. It is, I want to say, 5 times as long as Worm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's fun.
And you plan on finishing this?
I do.
I believe
If
in you.
the more audiobooks come out for it. If A, the author finishes it, and B, the audiobooks successfully finish as well.
I bankrupted myself paying for someone to narrate my super long story.
For some reason, I don't want to freaking read all of that. I do enough reading on this podcast as it is.
Your eyes will fall out of your head before you finish.
Probably. But yeah, it's super good.
Wonderful.
And it's only just ramping up, man.
Is it,
I can't wait.
Is it, like, lighter than Worm?
Yes.
Fantastic.
For the most part, it is much lighter than Worm, which kind of bums me out, but also I prefer this sort of style in a fantasy world at the moment, so I don't mind that. It's also fantasy. like D&D type fantasy.
Nice.
And it's
Love
also it is also something that I usually do not like, which is a literary RPG. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
It's essentially it's complicated to explain. It's essentially a book that does like leveling systems like video games.
So it's like a game? Like an interactive book?
No. It's just as if you were reading characters playing or reading a Dungeons and Dragons game, I guess. But
Oh.
but it gives you like the stats and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that format,
Oh.
but the way The Wandering Inn does it is really fun. And hey, Wizzy, you know what? You might be a fan of that format. I don't know. But me personally, it's not for me. But The Wandering Inn does it really well, and yeah, I am very excited to read more of that, and hopefully it doesn't crash and burn like certain other stories that might have been recently read.
Game of Thrones.
Yes. But at the very least, this one isn't going to make me... It doesn't seem like anything could possibly happen in this story that could make me go back to the first story, which I finished, in the series, which I finished, and make me hate that. So, yeah. Even if this ends up being a total disaster, like Parahumans ended up being, I'll still have that initial story. So that's fun. That's me. That's me. That's what I've been doing.
That's a positive outlook.
Yep.
What? I wonder
So
what...
anyways. Oh.
You can
Go on.
No, you're
Fine.
You're hosting this one.
Hey, I am hosting this one. Back off, Wizzy. So today we're going to be reading more of the Celestia Code by Esau. Very excited to read more of this beautiful story. I think that the last chapter was a bit lame, but I think that we're going to enjoy it this time. Wizzy.
Yeah, I think it ended on an up note. I feel like we were getting into something a bit more.
Perhaps. Hey, speaking of, Wizzy, what happened last chapter?
Ooh, you see, in the last chapter, we figured out that the guards of freaking Chrysalis's freaking guards were healing because they were filling up with the love of Twilight and Jigsaw. Like, all of their Swiss cheese legs were filling the holes in. They're becoming like American cheese now. After that, they went over to Chrysalis to find out what was going on.
No, Chrysalis came to them.
Oh, did she? I thought they went to her palace.
Yeah.
To her, like, her throne room.
No. She came to them.
My bad. I was totally picturing it differently. Well, I guess Chrysalis came over to them and then asked about freaking Celestia's sex history with Jigsaw, which was incredibly uncomfortable, especially for Jigsaw. After that, they got some good info on a bunch of stuff, and Twilight and Chrysalis were forming an alliance. Following that, we got to the very end of the chapter where Twilight was encouraging Celestia to go make Jigsaw all happy again, because she's all bummed out because, you know, her sex life exposed right in front of Chrysalis.
Her mom.
And that's where we are.
Woo! That was so good. OMG. Alright. They should have you narrating the previously ons for TV shows.
Law and Order. Previously on Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
And then you would do what you just did there.
So Olivia found a body in the river of a hooker.
All right, let's get to reading. The Celestia Code by Esau. Chapter 18. Changes. And then it does Chapter 18, Changes. While I tutored Kashari, I kept a bit of my attention on Jigsaw's monitoring spell. When her mood turned positive, I relaxed quite a bit. When it turned happy, I let my focus slip away, my own mood brightening considerably.
Is this right?
Kashari asked me, holding up her worksheet. Not quite, I told her, and made a slight correction. Say, there's a really good way to remember this formula. You can sing it. I hesitated. You can sing, can't you? You're not one of those freaks who can't sing.
This is just like the guy who didn't like musicals.
Give me a perfect E minor right now. I don't know what that is. Damn, she's hot.
God.
Yes, it is part of our training.
Okay. I'll go through it once and then you join in, okay? We can even sing it as a round. I took a deep breath and tapped out time with my hoof. Oh, God. What can I do? All right. You kids ready for this? Negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you.
Throwing roses of
Those are
rotten tomatoes on this stage for you.
I was gonna just say, those are some awfully squishy-looking roses. She sang it through, and then I showed her how to come in after radical. We flubbed up a couple of times, laughing, and then got the song going really well. We kept it up, grinning our heads off, until we were interrupted.
Holy stars, Twilight! Are you guys actually singing math?
We broke off and turned to find Jigsaw and Cesaresia in the doorway. The quadratic equation, to be precise, I told her. You ponies are very strange, Cesaresia observed dryly.
Hey,
Jigsaw said.
don't lump me in with the eggheads. I'm a jock at heart.
It's true. She's on a athlete scholarship or whatever.
She's on a football scholarship, and really this is just her pastime.
I mean, kind of.
Is it? I thought this was like her job right now. She's assisting the princess.
I mean, I guess this would be a job, yeah. But, she was, it was explained that she was on an athlete scholarship.
Really?
Yep.
I did not remember that.
That's true. She's a jock.
Man, I've been thinking about her all wrong. No
Yeah,
wonder
you have
Twilight
been.
loves her.
I made an attempt to apologize to Jigsaw, but she waved it off.
I understand, Twi. I was just embarrassed.
I didn't know what to say, so I just hugged her.
So,
Jigsaw asked as we broke off the hug.
what's the plan, princess?
We only have a few hours until sundown, so I think you two ought to relax and enjoy yourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Jigsaw beamed. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Love that.
The two drones showed up just after dark. Cesaresia explained to them about not needing to be fed, and while she was talking, one of them openly stared at her legs. Take a good look, Cesaresia hissed, shoving her hoof under the drone's muzzle. And remember that even though I don't need to be fed right now, I could still suck you dry just for fun.
Ooh.
Gross. Jigsaw leaned over and whispered to me.
Isn't she cute when she's all forceful and menacing?
Jigsaw, you're a really weird person.
Right? She's just so, like, openly kinky all the time, and it was never like this before Celestia.
Yeah, she's just getting more open. She's being more herself, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not herself. Herself is truly evil.
Yeah. The real her would stomp Celestia and then suck her dry. I mean, she does that now, but in a different way. Bop, bop, bop.
The general was right. Ponies are strange. We stayed up late for several reasons. I think Celestia was nervous about what she was going to look like when she woke up. Jigsaw was having too much fun. And then we got a little, whatever the hell this thing is called, footnote. Cliff note, footnote, jack note. I had no idea she had packed a flask of apple brandy. It certainly wasn't on any of the checklists.
Whoa.
Jesus, Jigsaw.
Right? Is this our Jigsaw? Our little Jigsaw's drinking and sexing publicly?
Disgusting.
I miss back when she was innocent and, like, doe-eyed and excited. And into Twilight.
God, this is character assassination.
Truly. I didn't even notice it, but she had a Marlboro between her lips.
God damn it. Ankashari and I were called upon to repeat our musical performance, eventually convincing Jigsaw to join in. Celestia flatly refused. I am the general of a great army, she said with immense dignity. I don't do campfire songs. So much dignity. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
I could just picture that line in Squidward's voice, actually.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song.
C-A-M-P-F-I-R-E-S-O-N-G song.
It wasn't surprising that I dreamed that night, but it was a bit odd that I knew I was dreaming right from the start. It had happened to me before, so I just went with it, curious to see what my subconscious would come up with. My good mood from the evening had certainly... Oh, God, is this her?
Wait, who?
Luna.
Oh, is
getting Luna?
It's a different perspective?
No. But is Luna coming in?
Oh,
That's
I
the
see
question.
now. My bad. I thought it was Luna's perspective at first.
My good mood from the evening had certainly carried over into the dream realm. I was in the castle of the two sisters when it had still been completely in ruins. Nightmare Moon lounged on the dais in the throne room, idly swinging a hoof over the edge. "Hiya, Black Snooty," I called to her cheerfully. She looked up at me, and suddenly I felt a lot less flippant.
It's the little princess.
She sneered.
Come to poke at me.
I didn't mean to be disrespectful, I told her. I meant it casually, like between friends. She scowled, and her pupils slitted down to thin, vertical lines.
I think I will kill you now.
Despite the chill that ran down my spine, I replied calmly. Sorry, but I know this is a dream. You can't.
Oh, but I can. That is one of the few good things about being trapped in this realm.
She rose slowly and paced towards the short stairs down to the floor of the hall.
I can kill you. Not just once, but again and again.
Oh, it was going to be one of those nights.
So how I'm picturing it is like the TikTok lady text-to-speech voice, which would be terrifying in a nightmare, honestly.
Oof.
Just coming at you, trying to kill you.
Terrifying. One of the most valuable things Celestia ever taught me is not to do anything without my whole heart behind the effort. So, when I decided that talking wasn't going to do any good, I flung a bolt of magical energy at Nightmare Moon's face in the very next instant. Without waiting to see if it struck, I teleported to one side, tripled the gravity around her, and then heaved chunks of the shattered roof into the top of the increased gravity field. The stone slammed down with horrific force, powdering on impact. That's a pretty dope way to describe that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's one way to make salt.
The dust fell out of the air with the speed of raindrops, revealing a perfectly unharmed Nightmare. She smiled.
I've always loved mares with fighting spirit.
She's always loved Mare, say.
Eee! Yeah, she would definitely
Pretty sure she was the homophobic one, though.
Oh, dang, really? Oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot.
Well, we joked about it, and then I think it was like she wasn't actually homophobic.
She had some line about being old-fashioned and being, like, new to the whole thing or something. But she was, like, accepting of Twilight being bi was the point of that scene.
But Twilight, as we all know, isn't bi. She's bibliosexual.
Yeah.
Which I guess that does also start with a B and I, so...
Ooh. The only bi I am is bibliosexual. That's right. I worship the Lord and the Bible.
Uh-huh. I fed momentum into the flagstones beneath her, and enough energy to make them go semi-molten. Then I flipped the gravity field, and they leaped skyward in brilliant red streaks. The rock spattered off of her like it was mere frosting.
You can't hurt me,
she sneered, advancing slowly.
My armor was forged in...
Armor. Right. If that was the problem, then it was also the key to the solution. I hit her petrol with a surge of magic, sheathed in a blaze of force to conceal the true, analytical nature of the spell. I found that the armor was made of a magic-charged crystalline metal and carbon lattice, insanely strong on a mere physical level, and, when woven through with the right spells and thaumaphobia traces, absolutely impenetrable. There was no way I could harm her while she was wearing it. While she... Hold on one second. Yep. Twilight's still a nerd.
Ooh! She's never gonna recover from that burn.
Fucking big words, man. I teleported the armor off of her, 10,000 feet straight up, put it out of play for a good long while, and was a place where she wouldn't be likely to locate and retrieve it. Not that I was going to give her time to do anything like that. I immediately winked at a 5-point pattern around her and let loose blasts of fire, ice, electricity, cutting wind, and conjured spears each time I appeared for a fraction of a second. Nightmare Moon gasped.
That's my girl.
As she collapsed to the floor. I was appalled. I rushed to her side and picked her up in my hooves. But she was beyond help.
You can say that again.
My tactic had succeeded all too well. I'm sorry, I wailed.
Never apologize for being strong,
Luna said as the body of Nightmare Moon melted away and sank into the stones of the floor. This is a stupid dream, I shouted, whirling to face her. Luna shrugged.
You conjured it. Twilight Sparkle. I am just here, out of curiosity.
I stomped my hooves in frustration. Why do I have to have anxiety dreams? I'm anxious enough when I'm awake.
Amen.
Preach it, sister. Luna tilted her head, considering.
Remember that language of dreams is rarely direct. Perhaps this is more than it seems.
Don't you dare go all pizza mare on me again,
Pizza mare.
I grumbled. What I need right now are answers, not appetizers. Fucking got her. Luna smirked at me.
But that is exactly what your dream has given you, Twilight Sparkle.
And she vanished in a flash of moonlight. I frowned in puzzlement for a moment, and then turned my head straight up to see what was making the whooshing, whistling sound. It was the empty armor. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I started awake, the clanging of metal on stone still ringing in my mind. It was full dark, and I had evidently not cried out because every pony else was still asleep, and two of them were softly glowing. Celestia and Kashari were each surrounded by a pale blue nimbus. I slowly got to my hooves and moved closer to them, taking care to step as quietly as possible. Kashari was closest, and I could see that the holes in her legs had become mere dimples. Celestia was behind her, and I craned my neck to get a good look at her. She was nearly completely equine, and she looked very like the tall unicorn mare she had imitated the previous day. Ow! Ooh, that's not right, though, is it? Did she imitate a unicorn mare in the last chapter?
Did she?
Did she? I actually don't know.
Were they talking about, Oh, wait, is Coloratura not a unicorn?
No.
That is
Coloratura
so funny.
A is not tall, and B is not a unicorn.
Oh my god, that's so true! But freaking...
So everybody, last episode, there was this whole thing, because this came out before the Countess Coloratura episode, but Countess Coloratura has like a little, like, a thing in it. It's like mentioned. And apparently Wizzy did some epic digging. Mr. Sherlock Holmes over here.
Wayback Machine.
And found out that what it originally said was like
Fleur-de-lis.
Fleur-de-lis. That's it. So yeah. Yeah, that's her. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, the tall unicorn
she is
mare.
tall and a unicorn. So, oh shit, Esau, I saw your bullshit.
That was good.
Thank you.
We really dig into them in these new episodes.
Totally. Or, no wait, I was gonna say, or maybe she's just talking about when she looked like Twilight, but no, Twilight is an alicorn now. So, never mind. I stood and observed until the eastern sky began to lighten and the glow around the changeling officers faded away. Then I nudged Jigsaw awake with a gentle push of magic. Unfortunately, when she wakes up, she just fucking, like, flails around. She's one of those wake-uppers. Flails around screaming.
I'm awake!
Bloody murder. Muffling her grunt of annoyance as she tried to roll over and go back to sleep. When she finally looked at me, I made a shushing motion and pointed at Celestia and Kashari. I touched Jigsaw's lips with a hoof tip to keep her from I knew that would get you. I touched Jigsaw's lips with a hoof tip to keep her from exclaiming, and motioned her into the empty hall leading off of the rotunda. Okay, I whispered to Jigsaw. Celestia is going to be upset when she wakes up, so you need to reassure her.
Upset?
Jigsaw whispered back.
Did you see those legs? And that rump? If the magic of friendship can do that, what the...
Oh, my God, Jigsaw.
She just woke up. Holy hell.
Jigsaw. You creep.
Honestly.
What the hell? Would you please be serious?
Twilight, I am deadly serious. I will reassure the living hay out of her.
Jigsaw, this is about more than your libido.
Thank you.
How would you react if you woke up as a changeling? She held up a hoof.
Whoa there, Twilight. She and I talked.
Whoa there, Boko. God damn it, what was the word? Was it Bucko?
Boyo?
Shit. Damn it. Reference to a previous Celestia Code episode. Insert it here.
Whoa there, Twilight. She and I talked about this last evening before we came back for dinner. She's not stupid, and it was pretty clear where this process might end up. She's not entirely happy about it, but, I promised her some things.
I nodded. Okay, I hope you're prepared to keep those promises, because I have a feeling that if she completely becomes a pony, it'll be permanent. She frowned at me.
Don't worry. We will be okay.
Alright, that's concerning now.
Right?
Jigsaw...
She's gonna kill
I don't
her.
know if this is for the best here.
Jigsaw's doing it, the villain arc.
Let's go. Jigsaw's slow descent into madness.
Ah ha ha. Jigsaw villain laugh.
No, but seriously. She's using this changeling for her own gains.
Yeah, she does seem pretty selfish. But she's only 16.
She's actually older than Twilight.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, I said. Good.
What about your little study buddy?
What about my little study buddy?
Hmm?
I'll talk to her when she wakes up. I'll explain the options.
Suffering stars. Twilight, you're hopeless.
What?
Right? Why did she say that?
She sighed and then told me.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do. I'm confused. What is exactly going on right now? Did I miss something?
I have no idea. I think she's like totally shipping Twilight and Kashari. I don't know. No, that doesn't make sense. I mean, it does, but it doesn't.
Celestia?
Jigsaw said, softly, reaching out to stroke her cheek gently.
Sissy? You should wake up now.
Oh god, she's dead.
No!
I lay facing Kashari, pretty much copying Jigsaw's words, but with a lot less intimacy. Okay. Celestia. Ceci, you should wake up now. She's just mimicking words. Celestia's eyes opened and she smiled when she saw Jigsaw. Aww. Jigsaw put a gentle hoof under her jaw to keep her from looking down.
You've changed, Ceci. You're more of a pony now. A pretty impressive pony, in fact.
Ah, I thought I might... She pulled back a little. Let me look. No yelling this time. I promise. I helpfully summoned up a reflective rectangle in the air for her to use as a mirror. While I was breaking the news to Kashari, she didn't take it nearly as well, but she didn't outright panic. It's all right, I told her, while wrapping a comforting wing around her. I believe the change will reverse itself if you are away from my influence, I suppose.
I don't want to be a pony.
Aww. Wizzy, the way you said that, oh my god, my heart.
Yeah.
The poor thing.
Kashari wanted to be a changeling. Imagine going from changing into whatever you want to not doing that.
I just want to hug her. She said so quietly it was almost a whisper. It was weird. I felt bad about that. It was her choice, but I mentally kicked myself. When the queen gets here, I will ask her to take you back to the hive.
But I like math!
She likes math, Wizzy.
They don't teach you math in the hive.
She cried. I chuckled, even though it wasn't funny. You know, I'll be honest, this little subplot here is reminding me like a certain subplot in The Wandering Inn.
Ooh. Someone liked math there?
No, it's chess.
Ah.
But instead of math, but it's kind of exactly the same thing. Except not shapeshifter. They're just giant ants.
Aw. And they're part of a colony. Man.
The Wandering Inn, man, so good. Made me cry with chess notation.
Aw.
I chuckled, even though it wasn't funny. Don't worry, Gashari. I will send you lots of books to study.
It won't be the same.
It won't be the same, Wizzy.
It would never be the same. There's a reason she likes math.
She said, shaking her head sadly.
I liked learning from you. I liked the singing. I liked being your friend.
I was surprised to feel my eyes getting a bit misty. I liked being your friend, too. And we could still be friends. Just at a distance for now. There's no need to make permanent decisions yet.
I suppose not.
Twilight!
Jigsaw interrupted us. Yes?
Do you think one more day together will complete the transformation?
Ugh, gross. One more day.
Ugh. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
I looked Cesaresia over. She still had little fans of wing material at her shoulders. Rigid flesh where the flexible bands of her thorax used to be, and slightly jagged teeth, but most of the rest of her was entirely pony-like. Yes, I think so. But there's one odd thing.
What is it?
Both Jigsaw and Cesaresia said together. I rolled my eyes. Oh, for Celestia's sake, Jigsaw, did you ever hear the expression about missing the forest for the trees? Have you really been so busy staring at the curve of her butt you didn't notice she has no cutie mark?
Ah.
I'll take that as a yes. I smirked at her. Maybe I was being a bit too mean with Twilight's voice there.
No, she really tore into her. She deserved it. She should have used the word pervert, honestly.
I smirked at her and then said to Cesaresia, I can see why you like her. She's really cute when she blushes. She certainly is. The almost pony grinned back at me.
Ooh, man, Twilight is outgoing.
Jigsaw sputtered for a second, put on a show of annoyance, even though I'm sure she was secretly pleased, and then said,
What does it mean, then? Why no mark?
That was easy. A new life means a new destiny, and she hasn't found hers yet. I turned to Cesaresia. How does it feel to have a whole new world of possibilities in front of you? Terrifying, she deadpanned. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Chrysalis arrived about an hour later. Once she saw Celestia, she went very quiet and still. The rest of us, even the drones, held our breath.
She...
Her voice nearly broke, and she took a moment to get herself under control.
Her wings are nearly gone. Why is that?
I don't know, Your Majesty, I replied, mindful of the drones in the room. I don't even know why she seems to have an affinity for that particular body shape. She might just as well have become a Pegasus.
No.
Chrysalis said, as if thinking to herself.
A unicorn is right, I suppose.
Huh? How so, Your Majesty? I asked.
She is my spawn, my bloodline.
Spawn.
It makes sense.
So is Chrysalis actually a unicorn? An alicorn?
I don't know. Perhaps. There was a theory going around at some point that she was like this older like storybook character from the Hearts and Hooves Day episode.
Mm-hmm.
And that there was like a love poison involved, and it's like it didn't go well for this particular character. But I doubt that.
Ooh. Well, I mean, the Alicorn Princess of Love is freaking
really a
Cadence,
character.
right?
Yeah.
Would have been more likely her.
Well, no. Because the love poison was a whole thing and ended like a civilization. But anyways.
Jesus.
Not to mention it would have happened like way in the past before Cadence was even born, so.
Cadence Mama.
Not to me, it didn't. And I didn't think Chrysalis wanted to be pressured on the subject. But when has that ever stopped me? I don't understand, Your Majesty. Could you explain it to me? She snapped out of her reverie to glare at me. Then she looked around at the rest of the room's occupants.
All of you!
She snapped imperiously.
Get out!
I nodded to Jigsaw, and she fled with the rest of them, along with me. They all just leave. Or Twilight tries to leave with them. Because Twilight's a dumbass.
Because it's just like, not you.
No, not you.
Oh.
You ponies value your word, do you not?
Chrysalis asked when we were alone.
Especially a noble princess such as yourself.
That's true, Chrysalis.
Then give me your word you will not reveal what I am about to tell you to any living being. Neither will you write it down, or...
She seemed to be grasping for some other way I could weasel around a promise. I reached out with my magic, brushing her horn in invitation. She hesitantly called up her own tendril of magic and intertwined it with mine. I swear to you, on the sun and moon, on my own magic, and on my life and honor, that your words will be safe with me, Chrysalis. May the light in my eyes go out if I betray your confidence. I said. The magic between us flared briefly, and then went out. She blinked at me, and stood there, just looking at me for the longest while.
I would not have asked that of you.
You fucking idiot.
You went a bit far there, like God.
Chill out, like...
So extreme.
What if this actually becomes kind of important later? Dummy. What's wrong with you? She finally said. I wanted to make sure you didn't feel any need to hold anything back.
Very well, Twilight Sparkle,
she said.
I will tell you how I came to be. Ooh,
I guess we're getting to find out.
Holy shit. So that was the Celestia Code, Chapter 18, Changes. Oh boy, changes are happening. Changes by Langhorn Slim and the Law or whatever.
Was this before Thorax?
Yep.
Like the story was written before Thorax?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before.
I just really wish that he could just come into the story and take over, because Chrysalis is being a big old meanie all the time.
Chrysalis has actually been very reasonable.
She keeps yelling at everyone to get out and being selfish.
Hey, she has a history and she doesn't want to expose that history to the world. As she didn't even want Twilight to do that whole, thing that Twilight just did. I think she's being reasonable.
She made Celestia explain her history. Her sexual history.
Well, that's important, okay? That's to solve something that they're trying to figure out, you know?
That's just for her to think about later. Let's be honest.
She's her mom, in a way.
Yeah, I guess she just said that she was her seed or whatever. I don't know what she said.
Her spawn.
Mm.
By Dark Horse Comics. Spawn.
Dark Horse Comics.
Cesaresia gets shot.
No!
In the line of duty, and then makes a deal with the devil and becomes Spawn. I can't remember how Spawn comes to be.
Oh no, there is yet another hole in my body.
Anyways, yeah, point is that I'm enjoying this so far. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think this chapter was a bit more of a pickup, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely a pick-me-up. Got a good action scene. Got, Twilight beating the shit out of Nightmare Moon.
Yeah, we gotta hear her voice again.
Yeah. And then we got, Chrysalis being, existing. I just love that Chrysalis with that voice. And, yeah, I'm very curious to see where this goes next. Hopefully we do get back to this quicker. I'm thinking we should really speed up the pace of when we're doing these episodes. This and, the last one. So that we can, get through all of this in a timely but organized manner, and so that we can start on other chapter fics.
See, what's nice about Sunlight Sliders is I was intentionally doing a speedy narrator voice from the beginning, so that makes it easier to get through the chapters.
True. Alright, well, I don't know, any predictions for how this is going to end?
I think Jigsaw's going to do something bad, and it will make Twilight angry, and they'll make up at the end. Maybe get together.
They'll make out at the... What if Chrysalis executes Cesaresia?
Yo, that would be sick.
And also Kashari. Why not? Well, gosh, that would make me sad. And that's how Jigsaw becomes truly evil, and how Twilight becomes and how she and Twilight break apart, you know?
You
and
like
showing the
math,
duality
do you?
between the characters.
Count how many bullets it takes before you die, Kashari.
Oh no. Absolute tragedy, man. Absolute tragedy.
Man.
Ugh. Goodness. We should write a tragedy, Wizzy.
Yeah.
Should write one of those old Greek plays.
Let's make one based off Orpheus and Eurydice, except it's cyberpunk.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's gotta have been done before.
Metal music being played by Orpheus that charms the trees.
Oh yeah, baby. Only they're not trees. they're
like
I don't know.
pieces of furniture, and it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Cyberpunk. All right. Well then, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Maybe next episode we'll get into some other genres that we haven't read before. Wizzy, what kind of genres have we not read before?
We've
on
never
this, podcast.
We've never done a horror one.
Wizzy.
Well,
do you just want to read more horror, Wizzy? Is that it?
Me never.
All right. Well, we'll discuss this off mic. Everybody go down into the description and give this story a like if you haven't already. I think it deserves it by now. God.
True.
And also give us a like if you want to. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we deserve it by now.
Yeah, I think we might. You know, we're extending the length of these episodes. You know, well, not the length of the episodes, but the amount of episodes that we're going to be reading in this series. So, you know, you never know, you know? Yeah, that's it. Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Let there be silence. Okay.
Man, sometimes silence can be scary.
I agree. That's why I like diet science. Fuck.
No, you've been exposed as an anti-science type.
Can I start that over? Damn it. The worst part is that it's not untrue.
I like the fact that everything runs on Duncan, not energy like the scientists would have you believe.
Good for you, man.